Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing another interview where I talk about the disorder, and do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Cool. So I'm Jack. I'm a croupier at one of the casinos in my city, and also a student in my spare time.
Sweet. Okay, are you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Alright, so the first part of this is he tries to guess which mental disorder I have. Okay, so
Let's do it.
go for it.
I'll start with what I perceive as common, so anxiety.
Oh, that's exactly what Eliza said.
Yeah.
So I do have anxiety, but it's a minor one. It's not the major overarching one, but you're in the warm zone.
Okay, cool. What about some kind of, I can't remember the word, agoraphobia? Where you're afraid to go outside?
Yeah.
And
No. So a lot of us maybe don't like to go outside due to like feeling that people are looking at us or staring at us, or that would be noticeable, but that is not.
okay. So
Like we might have social anxiety, but it's not the main disorder.
is that I'm not great with the names of these disorders.
No, it's fine.
Is that like so afraid of sort of perhaps judgment or
I'm saying
doing something wrong?
that's like a side effect.
I see. Okay.
Like we might feel that way because of our disorder.
Sure.
I'm going to tell them what it is now.
Okay.
So the DCM-5, which is the mental health handbook,
Yes.
it's OCD, and then underneath there are a whole bunch, and the one that I have is trichotillomania,
I wouldn't.
which means hair pulling mania, and what we do is we pull our hair out.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe you've heard the phrase, "I'm just so stressed, I want to pull my hair out."
Yeah, of course.
That's actually a horrible phrase for us because it's basically making fun of people who have the real disorder.
It's a reality.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I always hate that phrase when I hear it. I hate it so much.
Wow.
Yeah, and it happens more often than you think. Like, maybe 1 out of every 3 books. I'm a huge reader, guys. And 1 out of every 3 books has that. And I'm just like, gosh darn it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's fine. Well, no, it's not fine.
Oh.
But, yeah, I've decided to just like, I've had it since I was 13. So I've had a long time to process it and deal with it. I've tried a lot of medication. None of them worked for me, unfortunately. So, and that was rather unlucky. And I've had counselors, and now I manage it as best I can. So,
Okay.
yes. So now we're in the question part. You can just ask me anything.
So, did you just suddenly develop it when you were 13, or did you sort of start realizing what you were doing when you were 13?
Okay, no, so I developed it when I was 13, so around that time, my family found out we were moving, and have you ever heard, like, if you have an eyelash, you can make a wish?
Yeah.
So, we were moving, and one of my eyelashes fell out, and I was like, oh, I'll make a wish that, like, we won't be moving. And then, like, I didn't get the wish, so then I was like, oh, well, like, I'll just pull one out.
Oh.
And then it led to that happening.
Far out.
Yeah, so, actually, in children, it's not as complex. So a lot of kids will have it and then overcome it on their own, or with cognitive behavioral therapy, which is a type of therapy that psychologists can use. However, if it progresses into adulthood, it gets much more complex, and our brains will actually kind of rewire the way that we feel that pain of pulling it out. So it actually feels almost like pleasurable. So when you pull, you can pull for high anxiety, where you're really stressed. You can pull because you're really excited and you want to feel good, or you could pull because you're just bored and it's muscle memory.
Wow.
Yeah. So in adults, it's really hard.
So do you like perhaps not even realize you're doing this sometimes?
Oh yeah, that's a huge problem. So yeah, no, it's a huge problem. At my worst times, I have put duct tape on my hands. I have taped my fingers together into like claws. I have worn gloves. And now I wear fake nails all the time because it makes it extremely hard to pull. I don't like fake nails. I never wore fake nails, but they work well.
Okay.
So I just always wear them. That's one of the ways, yeah, that I deal with it.
So I have to ask that you don't look like someone who's been pulling out.
Oh, this
hair.
is a wig.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a tip I should have given you.
Yeah. Right. Right. So is there like, does it cause like skin damage when you pull it out, or to the scalp?
So yeah, actually there's 2 types of damage. So when you pull the hair out, it can damage the follicle of the hair. So when your hair regrows, you could damage the color pigment in there, and it will regrow white or gray.
Okay.
But if you wait 2 to 8 years, the natural hair will grow and fall out naturally, and the pigment may come back.
Okay.
So to get full regrowth to the follicle within the scalp, 2 to 8 years of not pulling will get it back, which is an insanely hard thing to do for anyone who has trich.
Yeah.
It's called trichotillomania, but for short we call it trich.
Trich. Okay.
Yeah. So like trick or treat, like trich.
Yeah.
So it's so hard. And damage to the scalp wise, yes. So if you pull one hair, you'll probably be fine. But a lot of people do focused pulling where they pull from the same spot. So in that case, if you pull too many close to each other, it could cause bleeding.
Yeah, okay.
And at bad times, I've also pulled out whole chunks together, and it will actually lift off the top part of the scalp.
Oof.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not. Yeah. It's really not good. But that's the reality of it. So yeah.
And so long term, you're obviously waiting, you're hoping for that to regrow to its normal.
Yeah. So actually, I haven't said the good thing. So
okay.
Usually when it gets too bad, I shave my scalp, and I'm just like, just F it. And this year when I did it in March, I said like, okay, no, I'm making a new rule that instead of trying to be 100% finished, where I'm like, no, don't do any at all, because it doesn't work. I'll go for like 2 or 3 weeks and then I'll relapse really hard, and then my self-esteem will like plummet.
Okay.
So instead, I've said, okay, go for 90%. So now there's a rule like I can pull south of the shoulders with tweezers.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't matter. But like for instance, eyelashes, eyebrows, and head hair, I don't pull, and I haven't pulled since March. So actually my regrowth under the wig is quite long. It's about 2 inches.
Okay.
But because there's damage from like 15 years, it's sparse.
Okay.
So I need to wait 2 to 8 years to see how much regrows.
I see.
I've pulled out all of my eyelashes before, I've pulled out all of my eyebrows before, but they actually grow the quickest
So
in the body.
It's not just the scalp as well?
Everywhere.
Okay, so you sort of mentioned it before, so does it have to specifically be on you? Can you sort of mimic it with like, a thick brush or something to get the feeling of it?
So, this is my toy box
Okay.
that I use. It's the tactile.
Okay.
So if something is on my hands. So this slinky, squishy balls,
Okay.
slime, cheap Legos,
Okay.
anything that's tactile, or petting a dog, or taking a shower, where it's something tactile, like either I need to touch it or it needs to touch like me. So like if I'm really stressed, I'll take a bath, I'll take a shower, or Ryan, my husband, will give me like a massage.
Okay, and that mitigates the urge?
Yes.
Is that how you describe it?
Yes, the urge. So it kind of reduces, I would say,
Okay.
but it doesn't go away.
Okay.
It's always there. But I would say like, so recently online I saw this thing called the John Kender diet. It was like if you don't eat these foods and you don't have any caffeine, then you won't feel any urges. And I was like, well, that sounds like fake science to me. But I was writing a blog about it, so I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I didn't do the foods, but I cut out caffeine.
Okay.
Remember, like I don't drink caffeine at all. So when I cut out caffeine, the first 3 days I got really bad headaches, but then after that my urges went down 85%. So now it's just like a very, very low grade.
Okay.
I'll only feel the urges if I'm really, really stressed.
Okay.
So it's way more manageable
That's
now.
interesting. Do you find that, so like after do you get the urge to do it on like someone else, if like you're patting the dog, or if you're
No.
if it was someone?
No. So it's the feeling of the pain pleasure.
Yeah, okay.
So I wouldn't feel that with someone else. I am hyper aware of other people's hair. Like I have hair envy of like every girl with great hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, I love it. Because it's been taken away by myself.
Do you know anything about like the data behind it? Like how common is it?
Oh yeah.
Percentage of the population or anything?
3 to 4%.
3 to 4?
Yep.
Far out.
Yeah.
That's a lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah, no. That's one of the reasons
That's
I
the
want to do
premise.
this.
Okay.
Is because 3 to 4% of people have it, but no one wants to talk about it. So no one knows about it.
So do you perhaps like go down the street and see someone you suspect probably has damage or evidence of damage. And you... Oh.
I see it all the time.
Really?
I see it all the time. There's a few celebrities that have it as well.
Yeah.
And they've come out with it, like Colin Firth had it in his childhood.
Really?
Yeah, but he overcame it. Other people have been rumored to have it, but then again, they've never came out and said it, so.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so if to put it in perspective, autism is 0.62% of the population. And everyone knows about autism.
Of course.
Trichotillomania is 3 to 4%, and no one knows.
Do you know if is that evenly distributed among the genders or?
No, it's heavily skewed to women.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know that it's heavily women. And I know when guys do get it, they also do pull out their beard hairs.
Yeah.
Which women
that
don't
might
have.
make it easier to manage as well.
Yeah, because I think also men experience male pattern baldness. So a lot of them, people won't ask questions if they have hair
good point.
parts
Yeah, it's
on
less
their scalp.
stigmatized.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Wow, I can't believe it's so high.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's really high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Developed it when you were 13, so that was obviously right at the beginning of high school.
Yeah.
So did you start wearing a wig in high school? Or?
Yeah. So my first year I didn't, and then my second year it had gotten bad enough where I had like right here a bald spot. So then I wore headbands. Okay. Like even though I'm not a headband person.
Oh, because
it could cover
you guys
it.
can wear like casual clothes in America, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a public school,
Yeah.
so. But then it got so bad that I switched to a wig my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
And it was the kind of wig I played varsity sports. And so the wig I'm wearing now, it's just sitting on. Picture a ball cap that has an elastic around the rim, so it kind of holds it on.
Okay.
But it's not strong enough for sports.
Okay.
So actually in high school, I shaved around my head to get a bare scalp, and then you use double stick tape, and you stick it to your scalp. It's insanely painful. It's so painful. Picture every movement you make, it's jerking the skin, like right on your head. So, yeah, it's just not good. That was really painful and not good, yeah.
Can't have been great for your self-esteem either. Like...
No, yeah. Self-esteem was real low. But I'm the kind of person that will fake it, even if I'm not feeling it, and then I'd like go home and cry about it, later.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what are the contemporary like treatments? Not for
okay.
for the psychiatric side.
Yeah. So treatments. There is no like cure.
Yeah.
But some people are lucky with medicine. Sometimes medicine does work, and like I'm so jealous of them and good on them. Like that's really lucky. For other people, the main one is cognitive behavioral therapy, which means it's a lot of work with a psychologist to realize when it's happening and like talk yourself away from it. That is like the number one, I think, way of curing it in children. I just did a blog on that where I researched it, and it has quite a high success rate in kids.
Okay.
But adults are more complex.
Okay.
So it takes a lot more. So I can only speak to myself, but I use a combination of toys if it's low grade. If it's high grade, then I'll just give in and do it below the shoulders. And other than that, showers, baths, occasionally yoga, lots of chocolate. And not being too hard on myself, like if I do have a bad day. Yeah, because I've declared like north of here off limits forever, but south of here I've said like if you need to, it's fine. Because what I was doing was I was trying to be 100% cured, and I would do well for 2 weeks, and then I would be so stressed, I would give myself panic attacks.
Yeah, right.
So like, it didn't work for me. And for other people, you may be able to control it and be 100% cured, and like, you are awesome. Like, go you. But for me, I just gave myself thought spirals and panic attacks.
Right.
So, yeah, in university, I had to go to the hospital a few times for panic attacks.
Far out.
Yeah. Just life, you know? Like, if you try to be high achieving, and Trich is just like, no! Like, seriously, mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Far out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got much more to ask about it. I've never even heard of it. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for agreeing to do this. He didn't know, like, what we were doing. How did this experience make you feel?
It was eye-opening. I knew I was coming into something about mental health, and I didn't expect that at all. At all.
Curveball.
Yeah.
Something you've never heard of.
Yeah, I'd literally never heard of it before. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all, but it definitely has been eye-opening, and I feel like, obviously, I need to sort of do my part, and anyone has to be obviously be supportive, because it's such a high percentage. Statistically, I probably know someone else with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like 1 in 33 or 1 in 25.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of
No,
course.
you definitely.
Yeah, of course, yeah. 400, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that happened, if they crossed my path, I obviously need to do my part and be supportive, but obviously on their terms.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so that finishes this up.
Cool.
Thank you so much for agreeing to this.
My pleasure.
And thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I'm planning to do this more. First, I'm starting with lovely people that I know so that I can work up my courage. And then I'm hoping to do it with complete strangers so we can get the whole spectrum of reactions. But like we said, I truly believe people are kinder than we think, and that is what I'm planning to do. So yes, for all of you guys out there who are struggling with Trich and you're on your Trich journey or your mental health journey, just know that people are kinder than you believe them to be, and take care of yourself. So yeah, we'll just say bye. Bye!
Bye.